So if somebody's thinking about creating a brand, what is the very first thing that they should do?
The very first thing that they should do is, before trying to get in the studio, trying to turn on the camera, trying to do any of that, you truly have to understand who you are and what is the purpose of the brand you're creating. I know that sounds cliche of like who you are, what do you do, who you do it for, but most people skip that stuff. And that's one of the most important aspects, because that's the easiest way to lose yourself. You know, you hear these brand experts talking about, well, all branding is getting somebody to know, like, and trust you. Well, the majority of people don't even know, like, and trust themselves. They look in the mirror and they try to change 90% of what they see. So I would say truly look in the mirror, and not necessarily look in a real mirror, right? But sit down and really try to define who you are as a person. What makes you you? What are your values? What do you represent? What do you stand for? And if you're not going to be a front-face CEO where you're the actual face to represent the business, create a persona around your brand and around your business. If your brand was a person, who is that person? What does it look like? What does he dress like? How does he act? How does he talk? What are his values? And then create that persona around there, so that way everything else you create from that point on aligns with that identity you created, that persona.
Absolutely. You talk a lot of the times about the Miyagi effect. Can you share a little bit about what that is and how is that so important as it relates to branding?
I joke, I call it the Mr. Miyagi effect. That's what I nicknamed the verbal identity, right? Because a lot of times people come in and again, they get excited about what they hear and what they see. Oh my, we're next. You know, we're working now, so our brand's gonna blow up. We're gonna get this many impressions or views and so forth. And they instantly want to go in front of, like, they want the visual aspect. They want to do content. They want to, you know, get their photo shoot done. They want to have all these things done. But they get upset when they're like, why are we spending so much time on verbal identity? What does this have to do with my brand, right? What is my values, my mission statement, all these things? And I call it the Mr. Miyagi effect because it's that wax on, wax off. When are you going to teach me karate? Next thing you know, you don't even realize you're blocking punches. Like, they want to jump so fast to the other aspects or the visual representation of their brand, and they don't realize that truly what's going to make that effective and what's going to make people resonate with those things are those guidelines that you set up in the beginning, that foundation based off your verbal identity of who you actually are.
That's so fire!
Fire, fire, fire!
That's so fire, baby! That's so fire!
Fire!
That's so fire!